Welcome to Hidden Points. Today, we dive into the strange, deep, and often unseen psychology of the worrier, the person whose mind never rests and whose heart lives in a constant state of what if, maybe, and possible danger. The worrier isn't simply someone who thinks too much, but someone whose entire inner world has been shaped by fear, anticipation, and the silent belief that something could go wrong at any moment. While some people live easily in the present, moving through life with trust and confidence, the worrier exists in a different psychological reality, one filled with invisible alarms, mental simulations, and a silent tension that presses on them. From the moment they wake to the moment they sleep, the first thing to understand about the worrier is that worrying is not a choice, but a strategy. It's a learned survival method, often created in childhood when the brain first learned that the world is unpredictable, or that emotional needs wouldn't be consistently met. So, the child developed a habit of scanning for danger, preparing for problems, and holding everything together inside, because anticipating pain felt safer than being surprised by it. As the child grows older, this survival method becomes automatic. It follows them into adulthood, where the worrier's brain constantly tries to protect them by imagining possible threats, failures, and disappointments. Worrying becomes a shield, a way to feel a small sense of control in a world that often feels uncontrollable. The worrier often appears responsible, perfectionistic, or deeply thoughtful. But behind this is a mind that never stops checking, preparing, and analyzing details, even long after situations have passed. The worrier often replays conversations, thinking about what they said, what the other person meant, and what could have been misunderstood. They question every decision because certainty feels far away and danger feels near. This makes them extremely self-aware and emotionally sensitive, yet often exhausted by their own thoughts. Worrying drains mental energy and creates stress. This stress becomes a habit that the brain begins to expect. When the worrier finally has a quiet moment, their mind immediately fills the silence with new concerns because a calm mind feels unfamiliar and sometimes even threatening. Another key trait is their need for reassurance, which comes from a deep fear of making mistakes or disappointing others. They might ask for confirmation again and again, not for attention, but because their brain can't trust safety without hearing it repeated clearly. Worriers also struggle with letting go. Their minds attach to unresolved situations, uncertain relationships, and unfinished tasks. This creates a mental loop where the same thought repeats over and over, like a wheel that can't stop spinning. Inside this loop, the worrier believes that if they think long enough, they can prevent something bad or find the perfect solution. But worrying doesn't prevent pain. It creates tension that blocks the ability to enjoy life. One reason worriers struggle is they feel responsible for everything, including things they can't control. They try to hold all outcomes together in their mind and blame themselves when things go wrong, even if they had nothing to do with it. They often carry emotional burdens silently because they don't want to trouble others or appear weak. This silence becomes weight, this weight becomes anxiety, and this anxiety becomes a constant companion hidden beneath a calm or organized exterior. Surprisingly, many worriers are incredibly strong and caring people. They do everything they can to protect those around them. They notice details others miss, prepare for problems others don't see, and offer support before anyone asks. But the worrier rarely receives the same support they give because their needs are hidden behind their careful behavior. One of the most misunderstood parts of the worrier psychology is that worrying isn't pessimism. It's a form of attachment, a sign that they care deeply and want things to be safe and stable for themselves and everyone they love. Another trait is their intense imagination. The same mind that creates fear can also create creativity, insight, and profound empathy. This is why many worriers are deep thinkers, artists, problem solvers, and compassionate friends. They can see many angles of a situation and understand emotions on a deeper level. Yet for all their strengths, the worrier struggles with one powerful fear, the fear of losing control. Control gives them comfort, and predictability gives them peace. Not knowing what comes next feels like danger. When life changes quickly, the worrier becomes overwhelmed. Not because they can't adapt, but because their brain needs time to process possibilities and build safety in their thoughts. If they don't get this time, their mind spirals into threatening scenarios. The worrier often wishes they could relax or let go. But a brain trained for survival doesn't turn off easily. And yet, it can change. Worriers are not broken. They are simply people whose minds have been shaped by past fear and responsibility. When worriers begin to understand themselves, they can slowly unlearn the habit of catastrophizing. They can build trust in the present moment, practice grounding, and learn that life still moves forward even without constant control. Peace is possible, even for the mind that fears everything. Through awareness and small steps, the worrier can transform their greatest burden into a strength. The same mind that once feared everything can become a mind that understands everything. The worrier can learn they don't need to prepare for every disaster, because not every possibility becomes reality. Sometimes the world is kind, sometimes things work out, and sometimes it is safe to stop thinking and simply breathe. If this resonated with you, let us know in the comments. And if you're struggling, please remember that reaching out for professional help is a sign of strength. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the human mind.